In the past, I've done challenges where we only use status moves the entire game. Today, I've decided to put my entire life in RNG's hands and limit myself even further. We are going to defeat Pokemon Emerald, but we can't deal any damage to our opponents. Not even poison or burn damage. We're going to confuse them and make them hit themselves all game. So the restrictions for the challenge are as follows. No items in battle. Obviously, we can't purchase any TMs. You'll see why later. We cannot damage our opponents. All the damage must be inflicted by themselves. And lastly, we can't use any other status ailment such as sleep or paralysis that doesn't do damage. So now it's time to pick a starter. There aren't a lot of base Pokemon that have a move that induces confusion at level 5, but there is one. Meet Chinchou. At level 5, Chinchou knows Supersonic, and Supersonic is unfortunately a move that we're going to have to rely on or run. It has 50% accuracy, and we miss a lot. After finally defeating May, we need a move that's going to help us defeat Roxanne. That move is Tail Whip. I decided to catch a couple of Skitties. Skitties have a 2% encounter rate. We actually run into consecutive Skitties, which is a 0.04% chance. So the strategy for Roxanne is to Tail Whip and confuse everything, so that it hits itself more due to its defense being lowered. It's not a good strategy, but it's literally all we've got. After a couple character building attempts, I decided to catch a Whismur and a Wingull to help us out. They don't do much. In fact, Pelipper is required. With Pelipper, we defeat Roxanne and get our first gym badge. The world record for completing Pokemon Emerald is 2.5 hours. It took us almost 13 hours to defeat the first gym leader. Insane. We catch a Zubat and evolve it into Golbat in preparation for Brawly. Golbat's Confuse Ray is actually the best move in the game in comparison to Supersonic. 100% accuracy is so much better than 50% accuracy. Obviously, right? We defeat Brawly and board the boat again. We do a number of things in Slateport. Firstly, we check out the museum. It's pretty cool. Then we run into our old friends May and Wally. They are not fun. Wally loves Double Team. Supersonic has 50% accuracy. I think you guys can figure out why these battles were not fun. I catch a Poochyena and put it in the daycare. Chinchou evolves into Lantern and we try our hand at Watson. And just like everything else in this run, it goes absolutely terribly. So I decided to take Poochyena out of the daycare, teach it Swagger, and evolve into Mightyena. I also catch another Whismur and evolve them both into Loundreds. Now, Loundred knows Screech and Supersonic, so it's quite helpful. The Loundreds replace the Skitties in our team, and we return to Watson. Now, the aim of the game is to get the opponent's defense as low as possible so they can do more damage themselves. Screech lowers defense by 2 stages in comparison to Tail Whip's 1 stage, so I think you know which one's more useful. We finally defeat Watson's Pokemon, and I celebrate by catching a Spinder, which I never use. It just rots in the PC box all game. We go and defeat Maxie and take a much needed vacation at the Lava Ridge Hot Springs. Golbat evolves to Crobat while we're there. So, Flannery's Torkoal has an ability that prevents us from lowering its stats directly, which makes Screech and Tail Whip relevant. Enter Swagger. The only problem with Swagger is that it's very high risk, very high reward, as we're very blatantly raising the base attack of a Pokemon that uses Body Slam very frequently. Just for the chance that it hits itself instead of hitting us. After a couple hours, it eventually does, and we win the battle. However, just when I thought that I couldn't be any more frustrated by a challenge, the game decides to test me and throw me Norman's Spinder. Spinder's signature ability is Own Tempo, which means that Spinder cannot get confused. As you might remember from my tackle-only challenge in Fire Red, Struggle Recoil kind of sucks in Gen 3. Like, it really sucks. At this point, I contemplate scrapping the entire challenge and doing it on Pokemon Sapphire or Ruby, a game where Norman doesn't actually have a Spinder. But there is a way to do it on Pokemon Emerald, but it's kind of ridiculous. Catch a Pokemon that knows Pickup. I chose Zigzagoon. Level that Pokemon to level 81, minimum. What I soon learnt was that Pickup activates after every battle, so all this running that I do on the beach here is completely unnecessary. So there's a 10% chance after every encounter or battle that Zigzagoon picks up an item. Our goal is to have Zigzagoon pick up Leftovers. At level 81, Leftovers has a 1% chance of being picked up. Which means, if I do my maths correctly, the drop rate of Leftovers is 1,000 encounters. Now you see why it's a bit ridiculous. And for our first item we get Drumroll. Full Restore. Hyper Potion. Ultra Ball. Max Revive, not bad. Rare Candy. The Root Fossil, Ultra Ball. HP up, Ultra Ball. Another Candy.
PP up.
Big Protein.
Revive. Full Restore. Ultra Ball. HP up. Guys, I think this is 17 now. Oh my god. It only took 17 items. I give the leftovers to Mighty Ina and we try our best at Norman. So basically, a lot of the battle I spend roaring Spinder out because I want to deal with Spinder last, obviously. The strategy for Spinder is we're going to keep switching out so it wastes its attacks and then struggles itself, and then have Mighty Ina in so that it heals off the struggle with leftovers, and it works and we win. And what a win it was as well. We beat Team Aqua at the Weather Institute, and then May stands no chance against us. However, Winona beats us. We come back with Explodes instead of Loundreds and get it done. Maxi does something silly. This guy keeps laughing at us. The twins sweep us. We level up and get our revenge. Steven carries us in the Space Center against Team Magma. And then Archie does something silly. Our 10-year-old pacifist protagonist reawakens Rayquaza and everything is right in the world. In this world anyways. Not even Juan's Kingdra can stop us right now. I decide to take a short detour and resurrect Lileep. It evolves into Cradily, and Cradily gets access to a really good moveset that includes Ingrain, Swallow, Stockpile, and Confuse Ray, as well as maybe Amnesia. With this in mind, we head for Victory Road, and I learned something very important. You can't actually switch out after Ingrain is used. I accidentally forget to record the battle against Wally, and we head to the Pokemon League. Our first battle of the Pokemon League is against Sydney, and it is not pretty to say the least. We then go to Phoebe and get absolutely crushed by a ghost Pokemon, which incites change within the team. I make the decision to axe Cradily because Exploud is more useful, and mainly due to the fact that it learns Rest at level 55. I also decide to use my only double team TM on Crobat. The reason why I restricted TMs was so I didn't just put Protect and double team on all my Pokemon. It wouldn't be challenging that way. The Phoebe battle is especially difficult because both her Dusclops have the ability Pressure, which obviously drains your power points twice as much as they usually would. So this battle requires a little bit of finesse, and as you can see here, it lasts a bit of a long time. But we eventually get the dub. Do not get me started on this Glacier battle. Glacier genuinely makes me contemplate why I make these videos. This battle is so frustrating, it is not even funny. One of the Glalie has Explosion and the Walrein has Sheer Cold. It's an absolute nightmare. But after hours and hours of torturing myself, we finally defeat her. Walrein was literally reduced to using Struggle on itself. That's how long this battle took. Our boy Drake is light work in comparison to the previous two battles. We walk into Wallace's room and learn a couple things. Firstly, Tentacle's ability makes Screech useless. It also knows Toxic. So does Milotic, which also knows Recover. And then there's the Ludicolo that knows Leech Seed, Double Team, Giga Drain, and Surf. If Glacier was a nightmare, Wallace was full-blown sleep paralysis. We have battles where we finally take down Milotic and lose. There was even a battle where I took down Ludicolo, had run out of moves, and had done struggle damage, so I had to reset. Eventually, after 2.5 days of attempting this battle, the puzzle pieces fall into place. Mainly because I finally get some good RNG with Ludicolo. Our persistence is rewarded and we're finally crowned champion of the whole region. In light of my mental well-being, I decide to not even attempt the post-game battle with Steven. I think you can understand why. I just want to thank you guys for watching. Sorry if the videos don't start coming out as often because I've just kind of started school again for the year. If you call doing your whole course online school anyways, but what better way to spend the quarantine than clicking one of the videos above? They're a great way to waste time, I promise. Anyways, stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time.